just in this fiscal year.
Oh, jeez.
38 more. Last week or last year, I don't know, it's toward the end of the year, they were talking about how many terrorists on the watch list came across the border that they know of.
That they know of.
And I don't remember the number. It was incredibly high.
Yeah, I mean...
It was 100.
Yeah, so if you...
Yeah, that's what it was.
If you compare the 4 years that Trump was president, compare it to the last 2 years, it is mind-boggling.
U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, jumped from this data jumped from just 3 arrests of individuals from that list at the border in 2020 to nearly 100. So it was 3 arrests in 2020. It was about 100 last year. It's already 38 this fiscal year. So that includes September, October, somewhere in there.
So like 3.5 months, right?
Yeah, 38 already. 98 last year. Jeez. So we're ahead of last year's pace.
Unreal.
It's just unbelievable. And yet the border is secure. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayorkas. Wow, these guys are doing everything. Again, you got to ask the question every once in a while. If you were trying to destroy the country, what would you do differently from what the Biden administration has done?
Yeah.
You got the MS-13 gang members arrested for the murder of a 20-year-old Maryland woman with autism.
Yeah, this is really sad.
So sad.
And as you're reading this story, just know that this individual entered this country illegally during the Biden administration as an unaccompanied alien child.
Jeez. Oh, man.
But, look.
As a child?
Yeah, they're just kids. Let them in, whatever. Here we go.
So, Maryland police announced they arrested an illegal immigrant teen, suspected MS-13 gang member, for the killing of an autistic 20-year-old woman over the summer. Police in Aberdeen, located in northeastern Maryland, about 30 miles from Baltimore, announced they arrested an unnamed 17-year-old boy for allegedly strangling the 20-year-old woman to death in July.
Yeah, also...
gosh, darn it.
There was sexual assault as well.
Oh, no, really?
So, yep, but, whatever. He's just a kid. He just wants to come here. Let's let them all in.
So he's got the gigantic MS. It's almost, this goes beyond a tattoo. It looks like a brand, like he's been branded with an MS on his back. So that's probably a good indication that, yes, he is MS-13 related. Police said U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement confirmed the 17-year-old El Salvador native was listed as a member of Malva Salvatrucha, known as MS-13. Authorities were able to nab the suspect after comparing his DNA to evidence from the crime scene. In addition to first-degree murder, the suspect is facing charges of rape and robbery. Yep. So there's your DACA in action. Isn't that great?
It's good.
Well, we've got our own bad people and felons and murderers in this country. Right. We don't need Mexico's. Here's a woman who'd be alive today if not for illegal immigration. If we did something about securing our border, but we don't. We just don't. 4 migrants bused to New York City have been arrested for shoplifting. $12,000 from Macy's. Is that enough to get arrested? Just $12,000?
Oh.
It's not like it's $1 million.
That's a fair point.
They didn't steal everything in the store. Leave them alone.
Like they needed it.
Macy's is a big company. They could afford. They don't need those clothes.
Totes.
4 migrants busted in New York from Texas were busted for snatching thousands of dollars in merchandise from Nassau County Mall.
How do y'all like that, New York? It sucks having these problems bust to you, huh? This is what Texas is going through and other places along the border.
They're accused of driving from the Big Apple to Garden City and stealing $12,489 worth of goods from Macy's Roosevelt Field earlier this month. Their names, Roland Cabezas Meza, who's 19.
Nailed it.
Miguel Ángel Rojas,
There we go.
21.
Let's get some rolling R's. Even
Rafael Rojas.
Yes, if there's an R, I want to hear it like you mean it.
27 years old. Jose Garcia Escobar, 30.
Nice job.
So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, they're just here to find a better life. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Would you deny them that?
No. And like if I were in charge of Macy's, I would just open the doors and say, come on in. We'll treat you the way the country does. Just open the doors and let you come on in and take what you need.
There's their lovable little faces, almost like they're children.
Yeah.
You know, none of them are,
Yeah.
but it's almost like they're just children. Leave them alone. They're probably looking for their mom at Macy's. And, you know, stuff just fell into their bags. I'll bet it wasn't even their fault. What a country we have.
I bet it wasn't even their fault.
I bet it wasn't. What did they go through in their childhood? You don't know. You don't know. What did they go through to get here?
Mm-hmm. Well, now we're going to deputize them.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. The state of Nevada is considering a law that would let them become we're so short-staffed at the sheriff's departments, Pat.
Got to be kidding me.
We're so short-staffed, so...
They're considering a bill allowing non-citizens to serve on police forces amid staffing shortages. Brilliant!
This is not a parody from the Babylon Bee, I'd like to point out.
Brilliant! That's my favorite part from that Verizon commercial.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti now playing the role of Einstein in cell phone commercials. How the mighty have fallen.
No kidding. He was so good as John Adams.
Wait a minute, that's a ripoff of the Guinness ad of the old cartoon guys from 20 years ago. I mean, you can't yell brilliant. I mean, that's copyrighted.
Right. Should
be.
So they're considering this bill to, if they pass a background check, they can then serve as police officers amid all the staffing shortages.
Wait, if they pass a background check, does the background check conveniently ignore the fact that they crossed the border illegally?
Oh, of course. That goes without saying.
It's like, can we just... I almost suggested something that a Democrat would take and run with, and that's why I don't want to say it out loud. I'll say it anyway. Why is that even a law anymore? Like, just, you know what? You don't enforce it, so...
It's a good point.
It basically de facto is.
If you don't enforce the law, is it a law? I don't think so.
Right? Right?
Assembly Bill 30, which is sponsored by the Assembly Committee on Government Affairs, will be considered during the next session of the Nevada Assembly. Can't wait. Can't wait. It passed, and if passed and signed by Republican Governor Joe Lombardo, a former sheriff, the bill would make approximately 140,000 green card holders and up to 15,000 deferred action for childhood. That's the DACA people.
Yeah.
Recipients in the state eligible to attend police academy and join police forces in the state.
Look, we know you've been a scofflaw in the past, but now we're going to put you in charge of enforcing it.
Sure, maybe you were MS-13 before. You cut people's heads off for no apparent reason, just to scare them, so that they won't get in your way in your territory. But you know, just some of the aggression will just have you back off a tad.
Yeah. As
police officers here, but you're well qualified.
You have demonstrated the skills that show that the police academy may be just the thing for you.
Yeah. And that's what we need around here is a little fear. And is there any better way to do than cutting somebody's head off and like throwing it, opening a door of a business and throwing the decapitated head into the business? I mean, it sends a message. Yeah, it does. Right? MS-13 does that all the time, and it's really effective. It scares the crap out of people. Right? You know? It's a way to get a point across. Right.